Diversity is important, especially when it comes to agriculture. California grows over 200 different crops, and if it were its own country, it would be ranked 10th as the top producer of goods and services worldwide. Here in Northern California, we are at SB&L LaGrande Ranches, located in Williams, hearing from local fourth-generation farmer Sid LaGrande. Since 1916, the LaGrande family has grown rice and raised cattle. Over the past 40 years, LaGrande ranches have continued to expand their operation by incorporating the production of almonds and walnuts. Mr. LaGrande has given us the opportunity to learn about the varieties of almonds grown in Northern California. He will also be describing the recent hardships that have affected farmers and the industry as a whole.
12, 13 years ago, we decided to get into the tree business. We were predominantly rice. We decided to get into the tree business, so we started planting almonds. Over the last 14 years, we've diversified from almonds into walnuts. We're still planting almonds. We're planning on planting a few more walnuts. Still in the cattle business. We still grow some hay and some grain occasionally, in a rotation program.
So I understand that in the past recent weeks, freezing temperatures hit Northern California and it affected some of the almonds?
Yes, quite severely. 2 weeks ago we had temperatures below 26 degrees for at least 3 to 4 hours. Take, for example, this nonpareil tree. When you take a nutlet like this and cut it open, you see the black in the inside? That was the actual nut. That's no good. It's going to fall off the tree within the month. Now you see some of these later blooms that popped out. The tree is still trying to reproduce. So hopefully, if you cut this one open, as long as there's no black inside, that'll be a viable nut.
How long will it take you to know how many nuts will be viable?
We won't know the extent of the damage until probably the end of March. Some of these trees are trying to push a few more blooms. The younger orchards, like this orchard, for example, got hurt worse. The older orchards, they had more canopy. They tended to hold bloom a little bit better, and they didn't get affected near as bad. There's really no way to prevent frost because that's Mother Nature, but ways to help combat it. Dry ground is the worst. Dry orchard floors is the worst thing you can have. So what happens when we get a freeze and the temperature falls below 28 degrees, we'll go out and turn our water on. And what that water on the ground floor will help heat the air underneath the trees. And sometimes it'll bring the temperature up within the orchard 2 to 3 degrees, which is huge if you're trying to go from 28 degrees to 30 or 31 degrees. Another way to help combat frost is to hire helicopters. Usually when you have a frost, it's an inversion layer, so the cold air settles down low on the ground, you have warm air up above. So a helicopter will fly past us over the top of the orchard, trying to pull the warm air down and displace the cold air to bring the temperature up within the orchard. The price will come up. Hopefully crop insurance will kick in a certain amount of money. The main goal this year is to at least break even. You're not going to make a lot of money this year, but you hope to break even. And you still have to grow the tree this year in order to get a crop next year. You can't give up on your orchard just because you don't have a crop. You still have to grow it and maintain it. That's really important for next year's yields.